Good morning, students. We are today continuing our class with Nutraceuticals. I hope this is our class number 3 for Nutraceuticals. The previous 2 classes we had discussion about. In the initial classes we had definitions and some examples of nutraceuticals and its scope, and in the number 2 we had a discussion about how nutraceuticals are applied in diabetic mellitus. And now today we are going to have a discussion about how nutraceuticals are having more useful for patients with cardiovascular diseases. So we know that very well. People are not much interested in going for synthetic drugs and daily taking tablets and depending on medicines, and it's an emergency type of disease. So we know that nobody will be interested to have any type of ailments. We want to be a free, energetic, strong. So and that nutraceuticals, which are playing major role to prevent ourselves from various ailments. So today we are going to see about role of nutraceuticals in cardiovascular diseases. The nutraceuticals triple play in cardiovascular diseases. Averting, that means averting means prevent from what is going to happen. As we are told, prevention is better than cure. That is what averting vascular disease is now a central calling for the nutraceutical industry. Nutraceutical industry means it's a part of pharmaceutical industry. This is because the mechanism of vascular damage have increasingly, mechanism of vascular damage. You have to remember about your physiological knowledge, pharmacological knowledge, whatever you have studied, it will be helpful for you to even give advice to your patients. Why we want to take these nutraceuticals, how they will act to prevent your cardiovascular diseases, how it will give you immune power to withstand your health strong enough not to have any cardiovascular diseases. So this is because the mechanism of vascular damage have increasingly indicated a major culprit due to lack of nutritional hygiene. That means nutrition, lack of nutrition to our body causes various ailments, and in that a very important part is cardiovascular disease is due to lack of nutrition for the particular person. Lack of nutrition hygiene, that means we are talking about nutritional lack of nutrition in a patient may cause all type of this disease. Not only for cardiovascular disease, most of the disease are caused by means of lack of nutrition, food style and change of your activities and way of working without any movements, exercise. These all plays a major role to give an healthy human body. There are 3 strategies nutraceutical can offer to prevent and reverse vascular disease. The first is to reduce circulating level of low density lipid cholesterol by forming a micelle with bile salts as it contains cholesterol. So first it reduces the circulating level of low density lipid cholesterol. So you know that low density lipid cholesterol causes lot of damages to our blood vessels and lot of complications in our human body. So it can be reduced by means of various nutraceuticals. That's what we are going to see. Some of the mechanism, some of the examples, how they will work out, and it is proved by means of various analysis, and it is a very good examples have been given for you. It will be useful for you for examination point of view and also for your normal life to give advices to your family members, and also the patient come across to us as a pharmacist. If they are asking for advices, it's very good for you to give you advices with various nutraceuticals with examples and how they will act on them and how it will be useful for your ailments to prevent from your various cardiovascular diseases. So you can see the picture also. I have given a picture how a micelle formation with bile salts is also having a parameter to help the prevent from various cardiovascular system and to prevent, for example, you can see finely emulsified fat, the low density lipid cholesterol add with the bile salts and it forms a micelle as shown in the picture, bile salts and 4-mg fatty acid cholesterol monoglyceride vitamins. So this will cause the reduction of this for example, for this action, for this reaction, you can see, you can get various nutraceuticals can support us for us to reduce the circulating level of low density lipid cholesterol. The second strategy, what is the second strategy? Even we know that antioxidants, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, they all are acting as an antioxidants. Even in the last class also we have discussed, they have more important parameters or important activity, important support as towards to reduce the blood glucose level even by means of action, by means of their antioxidant effect. So what is the use of this antioxidant effect? So what do you mean by antioxidant? The second strategy is to reduce the possibility of oxidation by neutralizing radical with antioxidants. You can see the picture, the radical, it neutralizes. Antioxidants will provide one electron, donation of electron to a free radical, and so that it prevents the oxidation. It prevents the oxidation. By means of that, it is helping for various ailments including cancer. Development, the proliferate cell division can also be stopped. Unwanted development can be stopped by means of antioxidant, and the secretion of insulin can also be improved, and the metabolisms can also be improved. There are various parameters which supports these antioxidants. So what is an antioxidant? An antioxidant is any substance that has the ability to give up an electron as shown in the picture to the free radical and balance out the unpaired electron, which neutralizes the free radical, thereby inhibition the oxidation of another molecule without becoming free radical themselves, which causes various ailments, which supports for various ailments, which supports for various diseases, including what we are discussing about cardiovascular system. It even disturbs by the endothelium cells. It disturbs the blood vessels. So if you go through all your physiological knowledge, you will go more understanding what is the application of these antioxidants. I hope you are getting into my point. Kindly go through and so that you can improve your knowledge. Pharmacist should have, basically you need more physiological parameter, more pharmacological, and also so that you will be strong enough to give explanation for anyone, one who is asking a doubt, how it will act, how it will help me from this cardiovascular system, cardiovascular diseases, how it will prevent, like that you can explain them. The second one is about antioxidant. Third, you see about the plague which is formed in the blood clot, plague which is a stocking, which causes the increase in blood pressure, which obstructs the flow of the blood, which which gives the resistance to the flow of the blood vessels in the blood in the blood vessels. The third is to reduce artery plague. Artery plague, you see the picture, artery plague, it restricts the flow by means of forming a plaque through fibrinolytic activity. A fibrin clot, as shown in the picture, is broken down, a product of coagulation. Enzyme plasmin cuts the fibrin mesh at various places, leading to production of fragments that are cleared by kidney and liver. So this can also be done by our nutraceuticals, so that you can have a free flow of blood through the blood vessels, so your blood pressure can be controlled. The risk in the angina pectoris can be controlled, and risk of cardiac attack, heart attack can also be prevented. So various cardiovascular disease can be prevented mainly by means of these 3 points of view, which you can remember and you can note it down. So that will give you more knowledge, as well as you can express in your exam very clearly. You can even improve by means of referring more. And nutraceuticals plays role in vascular diseases. What are they? Like Sterols, Stanols, Phenols Flavones. Plants-derived sterols and stanols compete with cholesterol to form micelles with bile salts in the first step, which we have seen a picture. They forms micelles with bile salts so that it can be easily flow without any restriction in the blood vessels, it can flow. So that's the advantage. This reduces cholesterol absorption into the bloodstream. This reduces cholesterol absorption into the bloodstream. All plants contain sterols such as stimasterol, beta-sterol. You can remember all these things. Stimasterol, beta-sterol, campesterol. Significant amount appear in vegetables, nuts and seeds. So they are very important constituents which can help to form micelles with bile salts, and they reduces the absorption of cholesterol which can enter into the bloodstream. So significant stanol content is found in what type of fruits? Avocados, pumpkin seeds, cashew nuts, rice bran and other. Plants favored plants favored with or for sterol and stanol extraction include even corn, soya beans and wheat. A unique commercial form of sterols is microphyte. So you should know, whenever you are telling about sterol, stanol, what it will do. how it will prevent the cardiovascular diseases, how it is benefit to human being, how it is having an application in the health sector, how it is useful for human being. When you are explaining properly to your patients, when they are asking with you, when advice, or you voluntarily if you are advising also, they will accept. It having evidence. And you see, phenols have been shown to reduce cholesterol level and low density lipid oxidation. Polyphenolic catechin or catechin, which is present in green tea, Camellia sinensis, reduces the cardiovascular disease by enhancing antioxidant activity, by improving endothelial dysfunction. Endothelial dysfunction will form plaque, and it will restrict the flow of the blood flow and increase hypertension and causes all type of cardiovascular disease. So what is happening here? Polyphenolic catechin, which is present in the tea, that is Camellia sinensis. Any students can easily write how a tea, how a green tea, how a Camellia sinensis is helping for cardiovascular. So how it will help, you can see, it prevents, it enhances by means of enhancing the antioxidant activity, it improves the endothelial dysfunction, by that preventing cardiac hypertrophy and protects the mitochondria. I have shown some example of oxygen and oxysite, a trade product, perfluorocarbons, which is nowadays available as a product, as a polyphenolic extract of green tea, apple, pomegranate and red apple. They are prepared from natural sources, which is available in the market and which are having more helpful for improving the endothelial dysfunction and preventing the cardio hypertrophy and protects mitochondria. If you write this word, more impression will be there. If you explain this to your patient, they will be more acceptable. The products which is available, how they are useful, it can be easily given very good advice by as a pharmacist. And you see, this is a picture which I have shown you. What do you mean by endothelial dysfunction? You see that endothelial dysfunction means making a bit of piece which I have shown there. How it is having a damage to the blood vessel. How it is having a plaque which is formed. Reduces the cardiovascular disease by enhancing the antioxidant activity. By improving the endothelial dysfunction due to the cholesterol or low density cholesterol, which will cause this endothelial dysfunction. So that can be easily reduced by means of using various nutraceuticals. What will cause by means of this endothelial dysfunction? You see, they are related to stroke, dementia, memory loss, vision loss. It will cause always this type of cardiovascular diseases. It also include all these things: heart attack, heart failure, angina, erectile dysfunction in males, and you can see peripheral arterial diseases, and in pregnancy you can see preeclampsia monitoring, and renal failure, diabetic mellitus, diabetes, and Raynaud's disease, hypertension, sleep apnea. So these all are some of the diseases which may be caused due to this endothelial dysfunction. So endothelial dysfunction, once you are reducing, once you are controlling by means of using nutraceuticals, it can prevent from various cardiovascular diseases. And Now we want to know about what we are talking about, how this endothelial dysfunction, and as well as it is also we are talking about low density lipid cholesterol or very low density lipid cholesterol, how they are harmful. This is a general idea we should know. How we have to use these nutraceuticals to help us protect us from various cardiovascular diseases. So what is this very low density lipid cholesterol, how it is harmful? You see here in this slide, once if you listen to this slide, you will get an idea about what is the cholesterol, what is it doing. However, nutraceuticals are supportive for reducing this low lipid or low density or very low density lipid cholesterol. So very low density lipoprotein cholesterol is produced in the liver and released into bloodstream to supply body tissues, supply body tissues with a type of a fat that is called triglycerides. So there are several type of cholesterol, each made up of lipoprotein and fat. Each type of lipoprotein contain a mixture of cholesterol, protein and triglycerides, but in varying amounts. About half of the very low density lipid particle is made up of triglycerides. Very large, very high levels or high level, for example, high level of very low density lipid cholesterol have been associated with. What it is associated with, what it causes to our body. Underline, the development of plaque deposit on artery walls and which will narrow the passage and restrict the blood flow, resistant to the blood flow, which causes blood pressure high and causes all type of diseases, cardiovascular diseases. There is no simple direct way to measure. This is just for a general knowledge. There is no simple direct method to measure very low density lipid cholesterol, which is why it's normally not mentioned during a routine cholesterol screening. How it will be screened and how it will be mentioned? Very low density lipid cholesterol is usually estimated as a percentage of your triglyceride value. Percentage of triglyceride value. That is why they used to say very low density level bar triglyceride. An elevated very low density lipid cholesterol level is to lower your triglycerides. Losing weight, or you can say an elevated very low density lipid cholesterol level is more than 30 milligram per deciliter. That means 0.77 millimole per liter. The best way of lower your very low density lipid cholesterol is to lower your triglycerides. As we are told, triglycerides only you are determining, which is clubbed with that. Losing weight and exercising regularly are key, and you might also want to avoid sugary foods and alcohol. Is particularly you have to reduce. Medication also can help. And you have talked about the tea. Camellia sinensis, what we have talked about the tea, what is the action of the tea, how it is acting, and how it is suppressing the hypertension, and how it is acting in the hypertension, how it reduces the hypertension. This is one type of cycle, one type of picture which gives more knowledge for the students. You can explain very clearly. See that tea of its catechin. It has catechin in the tea. What it will do? All the three. It can suppress ROS. That means antioxidant effect, it can react, that is reactive oxidative, it acts on the reactive oxygen species which is oxidation element. So it will act as an antioxidant, stimulates NOS, that means nitric oxide synthetase enzyme. Nitric oxide synthetase enzyme is stimulated. And another way, it protects mitochondria from damaging. It's suppressing hyperglycemia. See, all it's suppressing hyperglycemia. Action in the diabetes. Improving endothelial dysfunction. If it is improving endothelial dysfunction, you are very well and good. The flow property of the blood will be very smooth in the blood vessels. And decreases angiotensin by inhibiting angiotensin converting enzyme, ACE. So suppresses the hypertension. And also once it is protecting the mitochondria from its damage, improve the cardiac hypertrophy. So suppressing the hypertension. So how a catechin which is present in the tea helps in cardiovascular disease. So tea, the catechin present in the tea is a specific nutraceutical which has more impact in cardiovascular diseases. A student can easily explain with his general knowledge, he can explain to the patient and he can be a pharmacist now itself by means of giving advice to have this type of nutraceuticals, how they are acting for any type of disease like coming in cardiovascular can be prevented. And you see here, this is somewhat chemical composition of various tea present. Total catechin present in green tea is 150 to 200, and which is mentioned in milligrams per grams, and black tea 40 to 60. Caffeine present in green tea is 20 to 60, the same in black tea also, and theanine is present 8 to 20 in green tea, 5 to 10 only in the black tea. And theaflavin is not present in green tea, but it's present in black tea, 5 to 20 milligram per gram. And you can see theorabigin is also present, rubigin is present, not present in green tea, but present in black tea up 60 to 180. So now we are coming to super fibers. As you said, fibers eating is also having an impact for very good nutraceutical effect towards various ailments, and we are talking about now the cardiovascular diseases. Dietary fibers found in plant food, fruits, vegetables and whole grains, and is essential to maintain healthy digestive system. Two types of fibers, that is soluble fibers, gum and pectins, which can dissolve in water, which helps to lower blood fat and maintain blood sugar. Example, beans, fruits such as strawberry, banana and oats products, barley, and insoluble fibers can't dissolve in water, so directly passes through the digestive tract and helps to trap cholesterol, toxin, etc. that are then expelled through feces. Example, cellulose, hemicellulose in bran, leafy vegetables. Fats for vascular health. The cardiovascular benefits of omega-3 oil are no secret. Sources: marine plants, algal source such as alpha-linoleic acid, Ecosa pantethinic acid, pantethenoic acid, EPA, or docosa hexaenoic acid, DHA. So vegetable oil such as soybean oil, sunflower oil, and nut like peanut oil, almond oil, they contain omega-3 consumption appears to reduce the risk of low density lipid cholesterol oxidation by reducing these oils, which the omega-3 which is present, what it will do, it will reduces the low density lipid cholesterol. We have discussed about the low density lipid cholesterol, even very low density lipid cholesterol. Just now we have discussed, they are dangerous. So that oxidation by reducing the diacyl glycerol acyl transferase activity in the liver. Diets high in unsaturated fats, trans fats, and fried foods tends to increase very low density lipid cholesterol and low density lipid cholesterol levels. It is not necessarily applicable to dairy. However, dairy is high in conjugated linoleic acid, conjugated CLA, conjugated linoleic acid. As it significantly lowered very low density lipid cholesterol and triglyceride. You should know triglyceride and lipid cholesterol, they are together, and determination of very low density lipid cholesterol is also done by means of amount of triglycerides. So furthermore, dairy tripeptides such as vanillin, proline, BPP, and isoleucine proline, IPP, from cultured dietary products have been shown to be vascular healthy. So you should remember some of the examples when you want to write how they are healthy, what the risk they are reducing, how they can act to reduce the low density lipid cholesterol, and what is the harm of the low density lipid cholesterol. If you write clearly, and also if you read clearly, if you listen clearly, you can be a very good advisor for any cardiac patient, any patients. Everybody will be having difficulty to find out how can I maintain my health, how can I have long live. So this is very important for the students to know about the general idea how nutraceuticals can help in cardiovascular diseases. So you see, omega-3 fatty acids, as we want to discuss about this, how it is acting from these oils, how it is helpful for when you are using this almond oil, peanut oil, why you are using, and which contain omega-3 fatty acids, how it can reduce the endothelial reticulum function, how it can increase the endothelial reticulation function, and how it can reduce the plaque, how it can improve the flow of blood vessels in the flow of the blood in the blood vessels. So this picture will give you more idea. You can see that, for example, lipids in liver, which it can reduce omega-3 fatty acids, can reduce triglycerides and remnant like particle, remnant lipoproteins, and which can have an plaque stabilization. It can avoid the formation of plaque, which can avoid the formation of clot, which can avoid the formation of fibrin, which can avoid the formation of clot and block of the flow of the blood vessel. So see that in blood vessel directly, it can reduce the inflammation. It can increase the function of the endothelial function. It can increase the vasodilation. The flow property of the blood can be increased, widening the blood vessels. And you see in the platelets aggregation is reduced. Free movement. Blood rheology is increased. Rheology. In your physical pharmacy, you might have studied the rheology. The flow property has been increased. And you can see reduced arrhythmias, rhythm, irregular heartbeats can be reduced and it can be maintained into normal. And mitochondria function is also increased. So, how much improvement is you are getting by means of omega-3 fatty acid? So, it is necessary for you to use any oil which contain omega-3 fatty acids to prevent from cardiovascular diseases as a nutraceuticals. So, when you want to talk about nutraceuticals, we should know that what constituent responsible and how they are acting in that disease and how they are preventing, how they are helpful in a cardiovascular system. I hope it will be useful, 100% sure. You can be an advisor. You can be helpful for the people who doesn't know. Once you have a knowledge, once you are having a knowledge about the natural sources, about nutraceuticals, which is your subject, it is your responsibility to know about the natural sources, which is available instead of going for the synthetic drugs. Prevention is better than cure. And you see now, tocotrienols, tocopherols, you know, vitamin E. This is tocotrienols. They are also an specific which is similar to tocopherol, is specific which can be utilized for cardiovascular system diseases. So, tocotrienols are members of subgroups of vitamin E family only. Vitamin E is tocopherol, and which includes tocopherols, both trienols and tocopherols are antioxidants, but only tocotrienols have been shown to reduce cholesterol, inhibit certain cancers, and manage diabetes. We have seen about diabetes also, we have studied. We can use vitamin E. So, tocotrienols is similar as tocopherol. The positive effect of tocotrienols on cholesterol level results from their ability to down-regulate in liver enzyme involved in cholesterol synthesis. We should remember how you studied the cholesterol synthesis. You should remember about the HMG-CoA pathway. What you studied previously, you remember, you see that HMG-CoA, that is 3-hydroxy-3-methyl-gluteryl-CoA, HMG-CoA reductase. Positive effect of tocotrienols on cholesterol level result from their ability to down-regulate a liver enzyme. Which enzyme? HMG-CoA, involved in the cholesterol synthesis. Directly it is acting to reduce the cholesterol production itself. Can you follow? This can be written by means of your basic knowledge, what you have studied previously in the basic pathways in your previous semester. This down regulation results in a suppression of the activity of the enzyme. Sources where these tocotrienols are present: annatto plant seed, actually red color, palm oil, cereal grains, and rice bran. This is annatto or annatto bixa orellana. See, the red color seed which is present contains this tocotrienol. And rice, palm and annatto, what is the difference? The most active delta T3 and gamma T3 which is present in 50% in palm oil, 100% in annatto, and 35% in rice. Less active alpha T3 and beta 3T is present in less quantity in palm and in rice, and inactive part also of tocopherols are also present in them. So the annatto bush, an oil plant, is the only natural compound in the world that offers pure tocotrienols without tocotrienols. Remember tocotrienols. Without the accompanying tocopherol. Furthermore, annatto tocotrienols have the highest tocotrienol concentration with 150 to 300 times fewer tocopherols than rice and palm sources. And now we are coming to vitamin D. Already we have discussed this one in diabetic mellitus also. Vitamin D acts as a hormone regulating more than 200 genes throughout the body. It does an impressive amount of work. For example, vitamin D keeps abnormal cells from multiplying in breast and colon tissues, helps regulate blood pressure in the kidney, and helps regulate blood sugar level in the pancreas. Its direct effect on the arterial wall may protect against atherosclerosis. That is atherosclerosis. You know that blockage, atherosclerosis, through the inhibition of macrophage cholesterol uptake as the foam cell formation, reduce vascular smooth muscle cell proliferation, reduce expression of adhesion muscle in endothelial cells. Source: sunlight, fish oil, egg yolk, butter, liver, and in fortified foods. Pantethine, that are pantethine, it is an dimeric form of pantothenic acid. Vitamin B5, the biologically active coenzyme similar to vitamin B5 is the precursor for coenzyme A. Pantethine further reduces cardiovascular risk by inhibiting platelet clumping and the production of the inhibition producing chemical thromboxane A2. Pantethine 300 mg 3 times daily. Reduced serum triglycerides 32%, total cholesterol 19%, and low density lipid cholesterol 21%. High density lipid cholesterol level increases 23%. It has been shown by a researcher Asenio et al. In 1986, Murare in 1996. Sources: milk, egg, pea, starchy vegetables and cereals. And positive claims of pantethine, that means pantethine is relating with pantothenic acid, B5. You might have studied pantothenic acid, but this is similar, but it is pantethine, that is pantethine. It is not pantethine, pantethine. Boosts energy and athletic ability, lowers cholesterol and protect against cardiovascular diseases, speeds wound healing, detoxifies alcohol, stimulates immunity, prevents hair loss and graying of hair, retards aging. Lycopene is also, which is present mostly in the tomatoes. It's a bright red carotene and carotenoid pigment and phytochemical. Sources abundant in tomato, papaya, watermelon, carrot, pink guava and pink grapefruit also. Concentrated tomato products such as tomato paste, canned pista sauce, as cooked tomato products provide better lycopene than raw tomato products. Lycopene neutralizing hazardous waste products such as reactive oxygen species ROS that our bodies normally produce during conversion of nutrients into energy. ROS are dangerous compounds that can damage DNA and promotes cancer formation. They also damage lipids that are vital to keep our hearts and blood vessels function properly. Such damage can lead to development of hypertension. You know that ROS, that means antioxidants can stop this ROS, that means reactive oxidative species, which causes the radical. The radical can be neutralized by means of donating one electron from antioxidants. Very simple, in the first slide itself we have discussed. Lycopene contains food products can reduce blood pressure in hypersensitive patients by reducing plaque development, hardening of blood vessels. Lycopene is present in the tomatoes, and tomato juice, tomato pulp can also be used for this lycopene, which will help. Tomato ketchup, tomato paste canned, you see lycopene, how much it is present. Tomato sauce canned as product, tomato fresh cooked, tomato fresh raw, guava raw, watermelon, guava juice, all are having lycopene in microgram per 100 grams have been shown in the graph. And proteins and peptides is the last slide. Proteins are long chain polymers of amino acids, while peptides represent the short form. They can act as a health promoters in two ways. First, by acting as indigestible substance in our digestive tract. Buckwheat and soybean proteins. Secondly, proteins can be converted into peptides. They can be converted into peptides during digestion and are then absorbed into blood circulation system. So soybean protein, which is contained linosin, is bioactive peptide form. Milk-based product alpha and beta lactorfin is present. So these are also added in certain utilization. So you can use these all nutraceuticals. Apart from that, there are many things are available. Many things, nutraceuticals, normal food, and also many products are also available. You have to have a go through, but still the basic knowledge, how a nutraceuticals, how it acts on reducing, preventing cardiovascular disease can, I hope this small class can give some idea for the students to go for writing. If suppose they ask, what is the application of nutraceuticals in cardiovascular diseases? How it can control? Explain clearly. Thank you for being with me. Have a great day.